that on?
Yeah, it's
Like
on.
the blue?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like, we have many schools in Brazil.
Yeah.
We have these school managers. Many of them are familiar companies,
Yeah.
the private schools mainly. So they work like they heritage school from their parents, and sometimes they are not really. It's not their career to manage a school.
Right.
It's something they work put in
Yeah.
to for doing. Yeah. So what happens is that they don't know what to focus on.
Yeah.
They don't have like the data
Yeah.
expertise. They don't have intelligence to do all this data because they're always busy
Right.
doing the daily work.
Yeah.
Right. So like from what you have discovered, is there something the teachers, well, the school managers maybe could focus on? For example,
Yeah.
here we get emotional well-being.
Hmm.
Uh, I know schools or today. Remember your school? What? How did they solve this, or maybe help you to that? My school had some events,
Yeah.
but they never talked one to one with me. They didn't have this time because there was like too many students, right? And maybe they could hire a product that makes students develop self knowledge.
Yeah.
Maybe build a game
Hmm.
that could uh, simulate real life,
Yeah.
some kind of this. Why would you focus if you were like a school manager, maybe?
Definitely. So to start off with your first question, my school, I grew up in South Korea, so I went to
South Korea.
Korean high school. We don't have anything for mental health because we're all of us culturally are expected to kind of just deal with our hardships, and that's the culture. Everyone's going through the same thing, whether it be the Korean like SATs. Everyone's struggling. We get through it, and it's a shared collective effort of overcoming this challenge we have. So the individual emotional well-being things, it's not really considered. So my school really didn't do anything about that. But when after visiting all these other schools in America, the real key need that we discovered is the need for a student to have a trusted adult figure, at least one in present in the school. What this means is, so we talked to a lot of students, and no matter how many like events or workshops they don't feel comfortable at school if they don't have an adult they can openly trust. And some examples we got was even students who are well connected to teachers, and even for teachers who are kind, if they're teaching, for instance, a challenging subject like science or math, and the students performing not well, they already feel deterred to talk to them, and they feel judged inherently from this teacher status. And it's only the teachers who teach more manageable courses like history or like gymnastics, gym, easier courses, and also the young and compassionate ones students can relate to and trust. So the real importance, I think, that what we think is providing an environment where students and teachers can personally connect and build that trust. And whether it be a product, we don't know. This is one step towards that goal of helping build personal connections between the school managers, teachers, and people they serve, which is the students. And what we found out is only when this personal connection occurs, when this trust and this trusting relationship is built, students feel the comfort at school and that feel trust towards this institution, like also. So conversations on how to address all these can happen organically rather than forcefully in a non-trusted environment. So activities that would build trust between adults and children in school, I think, is the most important thing that we've discovered.
You have something to, um, yeah, a reference,
Yeah.
adult reference, if they can,
Mhm.
and maybe more than one,
Yeah.
so they don't. Sometimes adults are dangerous
Yeah.
as well for children because
Definitely.
they don't know exactly how to feel without making impressions of the world.
Yeah.
For someone that is very young, for and
Yeah.
um,
And that also applies for teachers too, because at all the schools we visited, there is at least one teacher who all the students like. but it's hundreds of students who go to this one teacher, and the teacher's overwhelmed. The teacher's not getting paid for that extra time that he or she's like spending. So it's really important for those kinds of teachers too that the other teachers realize the importance of building a trusting relationship with students to put the work like I guess the weight off the shoulders of teachers who are already doing that.
Yes, yes. Very good.
Yeah.
Good point. Really. What else would you point? Do you have any other point that you would like to bring from that part of the discovery? For example, this,
Yeah.
you can find on the way. Let me get one of them.
Oh yeah. Go. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did you get from other parts of the process,
Yeah.
some insights that could help schools make better the way they deal with
Yeah.
these kind of
Definitely.
issues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An important insight that we couldn't really tackle with the constraints of our projects was it's again related to trust. But what we found out is when it comes to these interventional workshops, third party efforts, products, whatever schools buy from the outside to help address mental health, for students, a lot of them perceive it as performative actions. So that preconception already deters the effectiveness of those third-party interventions because students feel like schools are only doing it to please the district, to please parents. So that student perspective is something we discovered that it's important and needs to be addressed for these third-party workshops to be effective in the first place. That's one insight.
Yeah, good one. Did you notice like the profile, something in common in the profile of the school managers, or you didn't get to talk to them like directly?
I think the closest we can get to is school manager, in your perspective, same as school leadership?
Example, a principal, school principal.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the one who change things,
Yeah.
gives the last word for changing everything in the school.
Definitely. School leaders, the ones we talk to, what we learn is they're incredibly driven by data that they can observe and like see in front of their faces. So data like this, whether it be pie charts, whether it be bar graphs, things they can use as evidence to claim what they're saying. And when we talk to teachers, a pretty interesting insight was teachers altogether go to school leadership during these meetings and tell them what they're seeing. Hey, the student is very aggressive. The student tells me they're going through incredible depression, like and going through bad stuff at home. But for school leadership, there's no written evidence, there's no data, it's just anecdotes and what the teachers say. And especially if the school leadership already has a strained relationship with the teachers, whatever the teachers verbally say is not going to register to the school leaders as something they should act upon immediately. So, an example the teacher we talked to gave us was after all these conversations, nothing happened. But the school sent out a survey, a simple survey, assessing the mental health status of their students. And only after they looked at the results, they took action. Nothing that's teachers like or counselors or the school leadership were taken into consideration. It was only the survey and the data they saw compelled them enough to take action. So, at least in the Bay Area, the schools we visited, we're learning that when teachers communicate this mental and social emotional well-being of their students, they really need some tangible data to back their claims up so that school leadership will be compelled to take action.
Yes. That would change it a lot. And yeah, perfect, perfect.
Awesome.
Ah, thank you so much,
Thanks for
John.
showing so much interest in the project.
Oh yes, it's my life work.
Really?
Yes.
Are you a teacher?
I it's a long story, but I made a discovery.
Yeah.
I can tell it from the beginning. In 2016, I was researching on the biggest problems the world has. I was always passionate about uh, social impact,
Yeah.
and in Brazil, I were like always looking for businesses, building business from scratch that could change this.
Yeah.
And I decided to study all the biggest problems that existed in
Yeah.
social problems, and then issues, and then I started to realize that everything comes from education.
Yeah.
If you change education, everything solves itself. It starts solving, being done. Yeah, and then from this, I started being passionate about education, and I did a research to understand what is the main problem, issue education is facing right now that has never been solved, and that's why it doesn't evolve in the same speed as the other industries do, like entertainment, gaming, social media, and movie industry, and that kind of stuff. They use like cutting edge tech, but schools don't. Why? Then I found out that one data that nobody was paying attention to it, which is students' uninterest in studying. They are in school, but they're not by choice. It's like they have to be there, and when they are not, they don't study, and they get a grade on this, and this sometimes defines them, and they feel like disconnected, and they go home, and what do they do? What interests them? Games, social media, and entertainment. So I tested. Let's pick like the main concepts that are working very well in this industry and put in the hardest part of the school, which is the homework. Uninterested students or hate studying, those who hate studying, don't do their homework. They copy it from someone else, right? Copy paste. And then I started testing it, and I found out students that before used to say they hated studying, but now they are asking for extra homework. Yes, I did it. After this day, I finished my research and tried to go back to tech industry only. But I couldn't anymore. I couldn't sleep. It was impossible. Schools need to use this. How can they get access to this, discover and use this daily in homework at least? And then I started a company, a startup called School King. School King. Yeah. In Brazil. Yeah, Brazilian. Now I'm here to find to understand the market outside Brazil. So to see if the issues we face there are the same here. If students get uninterest and disengagement as a issue too, and if this is true in most of the schools, I'm gonna bring School King to US and find someone to uh, expand it worldwide. Because if this this issue is in Brazil and here, it means it's probably worldwide. And that's the point. Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
From then we put like 4.0 education, we help teachers get less work to do and more time to focus on children and students. And it's like K-12 works for teacher doesn't have to learn how to use it. It's just log in, send questions, and everything is like a metaverse. Works like without he knowing how it works. That's the point. So we, in this way, we gather like 1,000 other partners with the same purpose: make education better. And they have like many solutions, but the solutions don't reach the student principals because they're not looking for solutions for some reason. Yeah, and this is like a main point we got. Like, how do we change this world?
You have to tackle the. It's effective to tackle it at the district level because schools answer to districts, and districts are the group of people who give the funding that school leaders use. And
Yeah.
for instance,
You mean like public and private schools?
public.
Public. Because here, most of them are public.
Yeah.
In Korea,
I went to private, but a lot of them are public.
public like 80% are public.
I'll say around
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
Ballpark, 80.
Why does someone choose the private school there?
Because they can't afford private school.
Is it different? Is
Tuition.
it, no, I mean, like teachers, different teachers, or the same teachers sometimes.
No, private schools have better educated teachers, or teachers who have higher statuses, like academically and socially. And essentially, teachers who like teach at private schools in Korea are ones that parents would be happy with, paying a lot of money, and for the children to go learn from.
I see.
That's kind of how it works.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, in Brazil, it's more like if you go to a public school, you're gonna need to be an autodidacta. How do you call it?
Uh,
Self taught.
okay.
Self the,
Self doubt.
yeah, the student that doesn't need a teacher.
Oh, self taught.
Self taught.
Yeah, self taught.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. There's another word like
Homeschool.
autodata.
Oh, I think in America they use homeschooling, self taught, things like that.
Yeah, there's a third word, but I don't remember right now. Autodidacta, we say in Portuguese.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, but then in public schools, like there is not even the minimum structure in most of them.
Mm,
Like computers,
yeah,
it's not even maybe. Yeah, it's pretty hard, and so they don't have choice. They need to choose private schools
yeah.
unless they can't pay for it.
Mm,
It's not like I can't afford. It's like there's no other option. The private public schools, mostly students go there because they want to have something to eat,
yeah,
and maybe their parents have a get something from the government. If only if the students are studying,
yeah.
then they put the student in the public school. That's very hard to deal with.
It's a tough it's a tough field, education. Like so many problems, so many grand problems with big consequences. How do you like solve it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Finally, we discovered that finding the root cause of all of them is the easiest, cheapest, fastest way to solve it. But then someone has to do it because the school managers are too busy,
yeah,
and someone has to do it in a way school managers see value in it.
yeah. Actually, so
Yeah,
one of the schools we visited, they have hired a dedicated counselor, but school leadership don't really listen to their counselor. So it's like, what's up, right?
yeah. Why that? Yeah,
So there has to be a bi-directional sense of care and intentionality when it comes to hiring like counselors or trying to engage in these resources, third party efforts. Yeah, big problem to solve. Where our partner, us, everyone really just scratching the surface, but identifying the root cause really it would be a big step forward. And I guess that's what everyone's working towards.
the big cause. Say that again.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
identifying the root cause
Root
of
cause.
all of these problems would be a big step forward for everyone in the education sector.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if we build school from scratch,
Yeah,
made
maybe.
it totally digital, and make students wanting to go to school, the physical one,
Yeah,
by choice,
yeah.
would change something. Maybe
And
we're building
yeah,
something like that.
and in these schools like spirit of prototyping, right? Trying
Yeah.
this, trying that.
Yes.
It's like you're always gonna get students in your school. Might as well try some things new, try new things.
Yes.
Why like stay to like why stick with the same dogma for years when you're having new students, new generations?
New generations, digital natives, which is like a whole different
Yeah,
generation.
and
Yeah.
hiring younger people too.
Yes, yes, that's the point. Like I noticed, if we had, I didn't find until now a school manager under 30.
Us too. Every school there's only like one
None of
teacher
them.
or so. It's like in their 20s. Everyone else is like really old.
Yes, this is a good point to
Yeah,
see. Yeah, if the school principal hire more people inside the school from other generations,
yeah.
maybe this could change
And that's what
faster.
the tech industry does, right? Hiring a lot of young people.
Yes,
Internships. Yeah.
yes, that's a good point. Yeah, nice, nice, very nice. And we found, I forgot what I was gonna say, but this is a good point.
You can also
Probably.
connect, and this is my
Yes.
essentially my partner's like name card.
Oh,
If you want
perfect.
to like talk directly to our partner, we'd be happy to connect you too. I can also take your email and
Yes.
be like stay in touch and stuff.
Let's do it. We have I think we could do a whole podcast on this topic.
Yeah. In our